Hey there, everybody. How's it going? Nice to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. So today, what I wanted to do was talk about the OM3. And it's a very, I have it right here. Ta-da! It's a very interesting camera. And to be perfectly honest with you, I really don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. It's not my favorite OM camera right now. My favorite OM camera right now is the OM1 Mark II. This camera, if I had to whittle it down to one camera, and you said I could only have one OM camera or one camera at all, period, it would be the OM1 Mark II. This is, when I shoot with it, it just feels like a professional tool. Get the job done. There's nothing I can't do with this camera. And it's the little things that make that the way it is. Like, it's got a PC socket, and it's robust, 400,000 shutter. You know, not that I'm going to get the 400,000, but it's probably not going to break on me. And when you push the button and that shutter fires, it's just got that professional feel to it. So really love this camera. It's just wonderful. And this, trust me, this is about the OM3 and why I'm not crazy about it. But the OM3 has a superpower. And so that's why I'm keeping it around, because surprisingly, it's not. So I think the thing is the OM3 is up against some stiff competition, and that's the OM1 Mark II and the OM5 Mark II, which I'm filming with here. And by the way, this is the video setting. It's obviously, because I'm doing video, it's 8-bit, and I'm using the Cine 1, and it's some of the best looking video I've ever seen. So go figure. I know, what's her name over at Micro 4 Nerds said, oh, 8-bit Olympus, OM system video is awful. I'm not seeing it. It's totally usable as far as I'm concerned. It looks great. Whatever. I mean, maybe she had a defective camera or something. I mean, yeah, is the 10-bit better? I guess it is. But I'm not really seeing any problems with the 8-bit video. Anyway, so if I could only have one camera, it would be, here it is with the lovely 45 millimeter 1.8, I believe it is. Fantastic lens. And it's a 90 millimeter equivalent. Beautiful lens. If I was going to have one camera, it would be the OM1. Love that camera. My second favorite camera would have to be the OM5 Mark II. I love shooting with it. I love the size. I love the cost. I love the color, the sand beige. That does great video, etc., etc. There's quite a few things I'm not crazy about on the OM3. It's a little heavy. It's a little big. It's got the same viewfinder as the EM5 Mark II, I believe, from 10 years ago. Like, for the money, they could have given you a better viewfinder. You know, I'm not the only one who said that. So, yeah, I'm not sure about the screen on the back. I think it's a higher resolution screen. I hope it's a 2 million dot screen. It would be disappointing if it was a 1 million dot screen. But whatever. So, the screens are good. Okay, I can't say that there's a problem. The refresh rate, the processors are fast, so the refresh rate, it does the viewfinder, the EVF has got good color. It doesn't black out. There's no lag. There's no jitteriness or anything like that. So it is an OLED screen, so it's a pretty high quality, 2.6 million dots, I think. But you know, it's kind of like complaining about the megapixels. It's only 20 megapixels. It only needs to be 20 megapixels. It's more than enough. So yeah, however, having said that, when you shoot the OM1 viewfinder, it's spectacular. Okay, this is a great viewfinder in this camera. And I guess that's what it's about, right? Is that what's the competition, right? So yeah, okay. It's not that the OM3 is unusable. It's just the OM1 Mark II is so flippin' good. All right, what's the superpower? Well, the superpower is this dial in the front here. You set that to monochrome, And what do I got it set to? Let me take a look here so I don't want to steer you wrong here. I got it set to mono 1. And in mono 1, I did shadows -1, highlights +1, no color, no shading effect, sharpness -1, contrast is 0, and medium film grain effect. And that's my settings, okay? And I'll show you the images, and it's just me goofing off around here. But I am just, these are JPEGs. This is some of the best black and white I've ever seen out of a digital camera. And it's closer to my vision than anything I could get with the K3 Mark III monochrome. Go figure, okay? Again, that's subjective, it's my vision. But what I'm trying to say is straight out of the camera, I'm getting monochrome images that they're better than Hasselblad real film images in terms of what they look like. Robin Wong said that Olympus sampled real film grain, and it's overlaying real film grain onto the digital images. Yeah, it might be, because it looks damn good, and it's very impressive. So, you know, with this, I can put together a Michael Kenna digital kit with the OM3, that mono 1 setting, and then the 12, 17, 25, 45, and maybe throw in a 40 to 150 or 45 to 150 zoom for the long stuff. And really, I mean, it's just, then it's up to you. You got to go out, or I got to go out and get the images. But there's nothing holding you back. I mean, it's there. The most surprising thing about this switch to the OM System cameras and Micro Four Thirds in 2026 for me, and I've used Micro Four Thirds in the past, and I don't remember it being like this, is that the image quality is better than what I was getting out of the APS-C Fuji cameras and out of the Sony full-frame cameras. And that's like playing with my head. It's like messing with my brain. I don't understand it. The sharpness, the thing that turned me off to Micro Four Thirds 5 or 8 years ago was that you got to about ISO 3200 and the noise was horrible. I don't know what they did. Maybe it's the in-camera noise suppression. I'm not even talking about going into DxO and using Deep Prime anti-noise software. I'm talking about straight out of the camera. It's like, I don't know what they did, but man, it's the image quality is really spectacular. Go figure, you know. And I'm also finding out that, like, it's not how many megapixels you got, it's the quality of the megapixels that count. And you might say, oh, well, that's an argument for a phone. No, it isn't, because what I'm seeing is just these results are blowing me away. And I'm super impressed with the image quality. I mean, it's the number one thing I could say. What's the best thing about Micro Four Thirds? The image quality. I get, maybe it's because you can afford to buy the super uber lenses. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I'm at the point where I don't care. I'm thrilled. I'm getting the work. I have the gear that will allow me to realize the vision of my work. That's all that counts for me. And I'm totally thrilled and happy. The more I use the stuff, the more I enjoy the stuff, and the happier I am with the results. I can't say fairer than that. Okay, so that's what I got. Of the 3 cameras, the OM1 Mark II, if I had to buy only one, it would be the OM1 Mark II. The second camera I would buy would be the OM5 Mark II for video and as an everyday carry camera and for size and weight, etc. And the third choice would be the OM3. And it's really an additional camera. I see this as a specialist camera, etc., etc. It's fun to shoot with. It's a little big. It's a little heavy. But man, they need to get these modes into the OM1 Mark III somehow, because I could see myself shooting this camera a lot only because of that mono 1 setting. That is some amazing stuff. And I know it's just JPEG, but I've got images. The only thing I need to do to those JPEGs is add a little toning, a little split toning, a slight sepia and slight selenium to the shadows, and that's it. There's no post-processing involved whatsoever. These images are looking fantastic right out of the camera, and the only reason I add the toning is because I like it. So now, if OM Systems incorporated a variable sepia toning, where like Fuji has, where I could just give it a little touch of sepia just to cream up the highlights a little bit, I probably would never have to post-process my images. Phenomenal. I mean, that's just amazing. So there it is. Hey, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, but please subscribe. Small channel needs all the help it can get, and I very much appreciate that. And I appreciate all my subscribers. Check out my Patreon page. Lots of great things happening over there, and we're having a great time. And thank you to all my Patreon members. And that's what I got for you today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there. Have a great one. Bye.